Hey guys, how's it going? Lumus here from Failing at Gaming. Phoenix, hey, thanks for the follow. Hey, did it not play the follow tune? Oh, I bet it was because I was on the starting screen and I hadn't toggled it over yet. I think it only plays it on the actual game screen. Hold on.
In time,
There we go.
know the tragic extent of my failings.
Thanks a lot, Phoenix. Really appreciate it. To be honest, I thought you'd already followed. I thought you were being a bit cheeky when you said done in the Discord chat. But hey, I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you. Alright, so I'm going to start out the night as I tend to by having a go at doing the Crazy Hard mode and Rocket Knight Adventures. So, for anybody who's not seen this before, so when you finish Hard mode in Rocket Knight Adventures, you unlock Super Hard mode, and when you finish Super Hard mode, you unlock Crazy Hard mode, in which you have 1 hit point, and you start with 1 life. You can actually collect more than 1 life, so it's not do the whole game with 1 hit, but you can see where the challenge comes in. No, actually, this is one of the hardest bits in the game right here, because... Oh, there we go. Let's try that again. The way the pigs move there is really unpredictable. It's one of the few places where there's outright random in the game. Sometimes the pigs will just do weird things like falling through the floor and landing on you. They land in different places each time, so that's probably the place where my runs most often end. Yeah, years ago I was really into this game and I kept trying this mode and I never quite managed to beat it. So I'm trying to get back into it now that I'm doing these retro streams, hoping I can beat it on stream someday. So far I seem to be getting steadily worse at it, but you know. Such is life. Okay, let's see. Oh. Okay. They can actually land, they don't normally, but they can actually land all the way out here, which can really catch you off guard. Your Rocket Dash is kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card when those guys show up, but you can only really use it once, because you have to charge it back up again. So obviously last time I was a little overcautious. Also, hi Noelle and hi Lady Meow. I don't think I said hello. I was a little distracted with the notification thing not triggering. How are you both? Hope you're doing good. Up to 46, we're getting there, guys. Rude is what it is. I'm sorry, dude. You're right, entirely my bad. You both had good days? Glad to hear that you're okay. Also, Streamlabs is now announcing the follows in chat, so I did something right. That doesn't happen every day. So that guy can't really attack behind him, so you can cheese him really easily by I mean, I don't know if it's even cheese. I think it's probably intended behavior. That's the... Oops. That bit is the devs teaching you to take advantage of your rocket jump. The bit where you get hit by him while falling down the waterfall, not quite intended on my part. I botched my initial setup there. Fortunately, you get an extra life right before this, so you can't really game over here. For pretty much all of the first level, you get an extra life for all the hard parts. They're quite generous. Making dinner? What you making? Anything exciting? So yeah, this bit's a little unpredictable. It's not really random. What you generally want to do, and that's not quite spot on, but what I generally try and do is try and get him in a pattern in this top left corner. See, as long as I don't mess up now, he's trapped there. Just gonna bounce back and forth. So yeah, it's not too bad. Tortelloni. Not tortellini? Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? Or is it a different thing? It's tortelloni, half tortellini, half macaroni. That sounds amazing. What do I gotta do to score some of this? Flying levels are the best bit. You know, the makers of this game were really good about their placement of like mini games and genre changes and that. They're really well done. So I respect their decision that there's only a few flying missions and each one's quite different and it's played quite well. I could have maybe gone for one more flying bit because the flying is really good. But I like how cautiously they placed it. It was sensible. Alright, I'm going. Just chugging some hot chocolate. My throat is raw. You have to do some photocopying of all of our documentation today. Didn't want to clog up the office photocopier, because it was going to take all day. So I went to use one of the spare ones in one of the side rooms, and you know, it got me out of the way, so I wasn't holding up. I just walked into the fire. That's not what you're supposed to do, though. You know, so I wasn't clogging up anybody else's work, but it's kind of a tiny room, and when the photocopier's been going for a while, it gets real warm. And it's so dry, and your throat just gets awful. Yeah, fire, exactly. You kind of have to stand up over it as well, and then you're bending down over the nodes and that, and your back and shoulders end up just being agony. Glad I don't get saddled with that job too often. But I got all my work done early, so I got given that to do. Let there be a lesson to you people, never work too hard. All the worst jobs go to the people who finish first. Work always fills the time allowed, yeah. I'm not convinced it should have been my job to do, but I don't know, I guess somebody had to do it. It would have been a time when I said I'd be happy to do it just because it needed doing, but work is slowly burning such enthusiasm out of me. Today in particular, not been a great day. Start smoking, breathing, the fumes make your throat hurt. Whoops! Okay, that's not where I wanted to be. A little bit overbounced there. We used to have a printer like that. No, the fumes on this one aren't quite so bad. I didn't really notice any fumes, although maybe they were there. The old printers we used to have were death traps. We've only recently gotten new ones. present for me? Yeah, the old printers we got, I mean... To begin with, we were pretty much told by one of their people that they weren't suited for the jobs that they'd been given. They were being sort of light used, like, personal office ones as main ward printers and stuff. Reminds you of Biohazard Battle? I can see that. It's got that oppressive feel. You feel attacked. Oh, we got him. I think that spider is like the only hard part of this battle, but it makes up for the rest. The onion-headed man? I don't think I know this one. But yeah, I think it was one of their repair guys told us the printers weren't really suitable for what they did, and they ended up losing the contract because of it, so they were quite mad with the person who sold us that one. I missed one. Okay, we're good. I don't normally miss any, because it's quite an easy boss, but... If you miss 2 chances to hit him, it goes into a second rotation, and that means you have to do the spider fight again. And the bit with the spiders is kind of tough. Hopping between them whilst trying to hit the red one. I saw the onion-headed man carry one of those industrial printers under one arm. What? This man is clearly some kind of legend. Yeah, so the old printers, aside from the fact that they weren't really suited for what they did, there were the 2 models of printer they sold us. There was the advanced one and the cheap one. We got one of the cheap ones. And while trying to do repairs on it and replacing things and stuff, I had to source some parts for it from procurement. And I found out that the hospital only actually ordered 3 of the cheap ones. They ordered about 100 of the expensive ones and 3 of the cheap ones, and we ended up with one of the cheap ones. So I'm like, who did we upset to get one of those things? Although not necessarily just us. The part that really got to me was that one of the places that got one of the cheap printers was one of the wards. How did like 10 of the wards get a fancy printer and 1 ward got a cheap one? They must have really upset somebody. Anyway, just to clarify how cheap and crappy the cheap and crappy one that we got was, one of the 3 caught fire. Just while printing, the paper got too hot and lit up. That's how terrible the terrible the printers was. So we're complaints? Yeah, I guess so. That's how they get rid of their complaints department. They give us a printer that catches fire. So yeah, one third of the cheap printers caught fire, I can tell you that. Ours never caught fire, but it often looked like it was going to. That thing got really hot really fast. We did have paper come out smoking a couple of times. So yeah, that's what the hospital thinks of us. Freaking complaints department. We'll show them. Nobody likes to be told their complaints about them, but that's your job. Yeah, I mean, I don't write the complaints. We don't make the complaints, you know, people send them to us. Oh, didn't quite get him. We just pass them on. In a lot of ways, we're there to help the people who get complained about. We're at least there to try and make sure that both the complainant and the complainee get a fair shake of it. Look, if you've done nothing wrong, you've got no reason to be afraid of us. The ward that got the cheap printer is the one with the most complaints about it. That's one way to solve the issue. I mean, when you put it that way, you know, we got the Deathtrap fire printer. Wouldn't have even been, if it had caught fire, it wouldn't have even been the first time that our office burnt down. Our whole office got incinerated years ago. And then before that there was a flood that destroyed our office. Man, I need to get out of my job. Might not be the healthiest position that I'm in. Ooh. That was a little weird. Catapulted me up in the air. Oh. Really doesn't like your complaints department, yeah. Everybody really doesn't like our complaints department. I don't know if it's because we're a complaints department, or if it's just because we're us. Do 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 do. Six of one, half a dozen of the other. Yeah, maybe they really don't like us because we're the sort of people that would work in a complaints department. I bet that bit there is really horrible if you don't cheese your way through it with the jetpack. By having it already charged when you go in. I wouldn't know though, because I've not done that in like... probably like 20 years. Ever since I figured that cheese out. Alright, here we go. 1. Oof. 2. Oh, he got me. I should have gone under it. My bad. Ideally, you want to go back and forth so you're not out of range of your attack on any of them, because that means to get more bombs in the air, more chances of actually hurting you. 2. 3. This is a good pattern. 4. 5. No, that was 5. Why didn't I... like 5, that's when they swap. And then I went to the left anyway. Where am I now? 7? 8. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, and there's the last one. 5 and 11, those are the ones that they swap. For some reason I can never remember whether it's 11 or 13 they swap for the second time. I mean, it's 11, but my brain thinks 13 is bad, swapping is bad. It must be 13. Do 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 do. I forgot to close my Skype and my Discord before I started streaming. And I can just see them in the background, just flashing. Millions of messages no doubt piling up. Nobody talks to me for months, but then when I'm trying to focus on a challenge run, suddenly everybody wants to get in touch. Ooh. I don't think I've ever managed a good chicken run on the stream. Usually leaves right away. From my childhood, I remember the chicken sticking around longer. I know it is random how long he stays, and he does usually leave before this phase is over, but I've definitely had him stay throughout the entire fight before. Oh no, is Norellon missing the train fight? But he loves trains. So this guy's kind of a gatekeeper boss. I think he's the first get good moment. I think he's actually one of the harder bosses in this game. What I'm doing here, and I know for you regulars I explain this every time, but what I'm doing here is I'm exploiting the fact that when you hit an enemy for like a second or so after they're hit, they can't damage you. So these hands are fast, they go everywhere, they're real scary. But what I want to try and do is hit them just as they come down to the level that I'm on. And then, as you can see, the hand will just pass through me. As long as I can get the hands just as they're coming up, they can't do any serious damage to me. That's a trick you'll exploit with a lot of enemies, the brief intangibility. Some of the slower enemies, you can pretty much stand inside them while hitting them over and over again. As long as you hit them fast enough, they're not going to get you. Now this guy here, I'm exploiting a slightly different trick, if I can. I mean, this guy's not a real threat anyway, except for the fact that he is actually random. The orbs don't have... Ooh, how did I survive that? The orbs that he fires don't have a set place that they go, so it's spooky in that it's random, but it's not that hard to dodge. So with this guy, you want to get right up to him and just pummel him, because your sword does damage and the laser does damage. So if you get close enough, you hit him with both at once, and you're just hitting him twice as fast, basically. Double the damage. He's emotionally damaged, he's been in the wall too long. Me blowing up his face, and then blowing up his hands, and then blowing his other face have really emotionally hurt him. As it would most people, I imagine. Alright, stage 3, the other nightmare. Actually, no, it's not even this one that I'm thinking of, is it? It's the one after this. The lava place is not so bad. It's actually way easier than the previous level. Although the boss for this level is one of those ones that's kind of frustrating because it's super easy, but it's really long, so if you screw up, if you know, get bored, stop paying attention, mess up and die on it, you feel really embarrassed. Whoop. Whoop. And we're away. Okay. Yeah, this is the part that, yeah. So this part is way harder than the actual boss. I mean... okay. Saved it. So again, talking about random things being dangerous, the fish are very random. They come in random amounts, at random speeds, random locations, and they move back and forth randomly, and you don't know what they're going to do next. I mean, was it not enough that, you got the rising and falling water, and literal walls of spikes in literally every direction? This bit's not too long, but trust me, it's stress incarnate. In Hell, they give you a copy of Rocket Knight Adventures, but the only level that you can play on it is this level. You don't even get to the crab guy. You just do the spikes. So welcome back, Noellan. You did miss the train, I'm afraid. Okay. So we're gonna wait for him to open his mouth, and then we should be able to get into a pattern. So it'll be easier once we take down the right-hand crab. So this guy has 2 phases, but you can kill him in the first phase, which is what we're going to do because it's safer. In the second phase, it's, guess what? Random. As long as you time your attacks right, his claw can't hurt you in this phase, so you just want to attack the claw here. Like this. It's a little slow. In the second phase, it's a lot easier to attack the claw. Because you can get down alongside it and just attack it with your sword. But in the second phase, he blasts up deadly bubbles at fairly random angles, and it's just not worth doing. There we go. What if that big set of water there is some sort of coolant system? Like maybe all the spikes are to increase the surface area, so you can transfer some of this heat into the water. That owl just clearly perched on nothing. Wasn't even landed, it was just floating upside down just to mock it, just because it can. Like, I'm gonna flap my wings when I attack you now, but I don't need to. If I really wanted, I'd just fly right at you with my rocket jets. My anti-gravity boosters. Oh, here we go. This is the boss that I was talking about. This stupid fish boss. It's one of these bosses where you gotta just run away from it until it shows its weak spot, and it's not really a very aggressive enemy. You just gotta basically just not fall into the lava, which is something that I'd be trying to do in any case. I mean, I wouldn't want to fall in the lava if the boss wasn't here. So it's a fairly safe boss, but it's kind of annoying. This guy's extra easy on the other modes, because he throws out health ups alongside his attacks. Come on! Ah, that had to have like 1 hit left in him. It is possible to kill that guy in 1 round. Your jump has to be perfect, but you can do it. It happens. Oh boy, I thought I'd blown that one. But I think that was a pretty good jump. Like even the pro speedrunners can't always get it in 1 rotation. But I think that was a pretty good jump, so I'm optimistic we'll 2-round this guy. Okay, that was awful. Nope. My bad. Completely mistimed that one. I hit him like once there. No! Oh, if I'd 2-rotationed him, that wouldn't have happened. That is my punishment for messing up. I'm just gonna pour myself another drink. I've already chugged my first drink, because I don't know if I've mentioned or not, but my throat is agony. Here we go. Next time I go up to the room to do some printing, I'm taking like some cough sweets or something up with me. If nothing else, I'll break the monotony a little. Because it's also the most boring job imaginable. Maybe a bottle of water too. Some lemonade would be pretty great right now, not gonna lie. I got myself some hot chocolate instead, I think that's helped. So yeah, this guy always feels bad when you die to him, because you feel like you got lucky. Look at this guy, he's a chump. There's no skill when he takes you down, it's pure luck. He's lucky I'm playing on this difficulty mode. Otherwise he'd be a joke. It's the kind of platforming I'd find really stressful. It's not great. Oh, dang it. I wasn't quite fast enough. This is easily my least favorite boss in the game. I'll say he's one of the easiest if you're doing it right, which I'm not today. But he's just not fun to play. I don't know what happened there. I landed safely in the platform and then I walked off it. But yeah, when every other part of this game is amazing, this guy stands out as kind of really sucking. I mean, look how long this goes on for. It's just kind of boring, more than anything. That's why you slip up and make mistakes. No! Oh, what is happening? Why can't I beat this guy? This guy's a joke! It was going so well today. I thought I'd finally recovered my stride after a couple of bad runs on this thing. I demolished all the other parts of the game. And now I'm losing to the fish guy. The fish guy! There's no context in which it's not embarrassing to lose to the fish guy. Revenge of the Fish Folk. Look, I swear that was all Asma. Come on, can we at least two-round this guy? I don't want to end my run here. Are you serious? I thought I got him there. How am I not doing... I'm doing, like, no damage to him. What's going on? My mistake? Overconfidence? It's the most confident swimmer that most often drowns. Especially in lava. Newbie swimmers almost never swim in lava, which is, you know... why they don't tend to drown in it. There we go. We at least got past the fish guy. I've got 0 lives now, so, might not get much further, but hey, we'll see. Yes, skip ahead here. This next bit's not super easy. Like, I get to it without dying more often than not, but I'd feel safer with a life as backup. It's the kind of thing that you can mess up, no matter how good you get. Here we go. So this guy throws bombs at us, we gotta bounce them back, which means we gotta take the hit quite close to us, is the thing. And you need to time your swing, and... you know, you can see where it's possible to mess up and take a single hit, which in this mode is enough to kill us, and we don't have a spare life. It's not that hard, but, you know. It's one of those things where you can't quite relax. Fox's face when he staggers or falls is my brain in social situations. Hang on. This one? I feel that, bro. That's, yeah, I can see that. That is me when my phone rings at work. That's me when somebody says hello. Somebody I barely know, somebody whose name I can't remember, says, "Hey, how are you doing?" I kind of make this expression as I run away. Like, look at it on his side, so he's running rather than falling. That's me. That's me fleeing a social encounter. Where'd all my Tupperware go? It left you because you call it Tupperware instead of... What is Tupperware? It's not pots and pans, right? That's... No, it is pots and pans, right? Because plates and stuff is crockery. Just call them pots and pans. You're not one of these edgy-intellectuals, are you? With all your knowledge and your learning. Showing up the rest of us. It's not the same place as Lost Socks. If you lose one half of each pan, you'll know that it's gone to the Lost Socks place. It's neither of those things? What is the actual definition of Tupperware? It's not crockery and it's not pots and pans? Tupperware is plastic food containers. It's a brand of plastic tubs? Oh wow, I had no idea what Tupperware was then. I thought it was like a proper name for real stuff. Actual cooking stuff, not plastic food containers. Look, I don't know how to cook, okay? I don't know all of your fancy cooking things. I can't cook. I can barely eat. I often injure myself while eating. Getting that extra life seems like risky business. I mean, if you think about it, even if you die getting it, you don't actually lose anything. So there's that angle. But yeah, you can die there. It's not that hard to do. Just drop down, fly back up. Go sign, quiet, please. I'm trying to have a drink. I'm trying to stay hydrated, and you're yelling at me to go. Would you stop rushing me? I've had a bad day, okay? I've had a long day, I need to calm down. Thank you. It's a genericized trademark like Hoover? Oh, okay. So maybe I have seen it used for other things. Oop. Wasn't paying attention and I let these guys get going. Which is a mistake, because when these guys get going, they don't stop. These are another thing that's slightly random. You've got an awkward platforming-ish section, and then you've got these guys who are random and are just kind of a pain. Every Lost Sock comes back as a spare Tupperware lid that doesn't fit anything. Believable, believable. Cell phones were shown not to increase chances of getting cancer. Yeah, that was a thing everybody was obsessed about for a while, and now nobody talks about it anymore. Which suggests that people actually learned from the study. Perhaps a unique event in the history of humanity. How did I not notice how bad this situation was before? Wait, what situation? The Tupperware situation? The fact that you've lost so many socks over the years, you've got an entire cupboard that's now full of Tupperware lids that don't go to anything. So that dang it! I was about to tell you guys the trick to it, and then I didn't pull off the trick successfully. So you can duck under their sharps, but obviously if you're ducking under it, you can't move, which makes the force field kind of a pain. They get fairly close to you before they fire, so as a general rule, you want to try and kill them before they fire their shot. This is the goal here, the dream. That's how you keep advancing. It's easier to kill them before their shot if you're advancing as well, so it's like, you want to find a rhythm here, is the ideal situation. Once you lose your rhythm, you're in trouble. Now these bits are kind of hard because you get too close together. You have to stand exactly right between them to get through, and it's not easy. No. Can I make it through the... Nah, if I could get them to sync up, then I could maybe get through after both of them. One spent many minutes expounding on a lost tater. 4 went in the oven, 3 came out. Where did it go? That is a situation. Okay, right in the middle. We did it. We got through. Now we've got another bit exactly like that, so, you know. And in the middle. Oh, that lightning is going through my foot. I should not be alive, but I am. Okay, so once I had like one of those little plastic tubs, you know, the food that you buy it, you put it in the oven, you eat it. The stuff that I claim is cooking, but isn't really. So I had one of those full of, I think, probably macaroni cheese, that I put in the oven. Put it on the metal cooking tray, put it in the oven, left it. Came back to it later, opened the tray, looked down, saw my stuff was in the oven, it looked ready to eat. I stood up, got the oven gloves, reached down, grabbed the tray, pulled out the tray, and the macaroni cheese wasn't on it. And I was looking at it like, what? Where did it go? It was on the tray. I literally just saw it. Where else could it be? Like a freaking magic trick. My macaroni cheese disappeared. It's gone. Into the abyss. Anyway, eventually I stopped boggling and I crouched down and looked into the oven. And it turned out a little bit of the plastic container had brushed against the back of the oven and had melted against it, so it was now stuck to the back of the oven. So when I'd pulled the tray out, the macaroni cheese had just stayed in there. It was basically the tablecloth trick, yeah. It was the tablecloth trick with the slight cheat that I'd used a little bit of glue accidentally, but yeah. I'd made my dinner disappear. Let's hope that never happens again. Alright, let's see how this goes. Again, not an awful boss, but a challenging boss. He's a fair boss. He's challenging. I might beat him first try. I might lose a life here. I don't have any spare lives, so you know. This could be game over, but we'll see how it goes. Usually the safest place is in this corner. Just hide in this corner in case something comes at you, and only then do you duck out. Oh! Oh, no! Oh, I threw it away! I even killed the robot on that hit. I miscounted. I dodged one too late. I got hit by the scatter shot. I thought there was another big burst bullet coming out. I could have easily dodged that. Dang, that's shameful. I should have had that one and I didn't. Still, I think that's better than I've done like the last 3 weeks, since I started doing this every week. So maybe I'm getting those skills back. Once cooked some corn, southern fried burgers, got them out of the oven, tipped the tray up, and caught it? Wait, I need some clarification on this. You caught the burgers, or you caught the tray? Hope you still had the oven gloves on when you caught the tray. Like, was this an elegant fine dexterity thing where the tray goes sliding, you expertly grasp it out of the air and don't lose the burger? Or is this a you crash into your own table thing, go oops, the tray goes flying over, you drop your oven gloves, dive at it, grab onto it, just at the last time, go ah, drop the tray and send the burgers onto the floor? Caught the tray with the hand that wasn't gloved and lost the burgers. I thought that was what you were getting at. I've been there. I don't think I've ever caught a tray with a hand that wasn't gloved, but I've dropped a cup full of freshly made hot tea before, caught it with my other hand, and the tea has just gone all down that hand. So I can sympathize. Similar scale. Go stand with your hand under the cold water for the next 4 hours. Cursed my reflexes, yeah. Damn you, almost but not quite spider sense. Alright, I should move on to a different game. Doesn't hurt until it really does, yeah. Because you fry the nerves as well, I guess. It takes your brain a while to realize how badly you've hurt yourself. And that's not a thing that goes away fast, either. Oof. Okay, we need to change game. Anybody got any requests, or...? Second degree burn? Ooh. This is the sort of thing that requires extra attention, right? Twin World? I still don't have that set up. I looked into it, but it's going to be real hard for me to get a legitimate copy of it. And to emulate it, like, basically... The games it ran on were, like, early computers, right? Emulating a computer on a computer is not as easy as emulating a console. Someday, I promise you I will play Twin World. I give you my word. But I don't know when that day is going to come. It'll be sometime when I've got a lot of time to set it up. Lemmings? I've got Lemmings put away somewhere. I don't know where it is. Maybe I could do it another time. Zark? Conqueror? Are you making... What's Zark? Are you thinking of Zork? Pink Panther? Aggressor? Are any of these games I can actually get for like a Mega Drive, Master System, one of the early Nintendo consoles? Something I can do now, people. Yeah, I thought so. Alright, I'm gonna have a look, see if any of these games were released for a console. But probably I think we might play some Pugsy. It's been a while since we've done it. Wanna see if we can make some Biohazard Battle? I can do Biohazard Battle. Alright, we'll do some Biohazard Battle. Maybe I'll do Pugsy after Biohazard Battle. Alright. I'm gonna go check all these messages that are flashing up, and then I'll change the game over to Biohazard Battle. I'll be back very shortly. What's that, Narellen? The thing you said after Biohazard Battle? It's come out all blurry on my screen. It's like full-on Zargo text. It's all confused and messed up. I was gonna request Pugsy? Oh, okay. Alright, that's fair then. Biohazard Battle, then Pugsy. That's what we'll do. See how long Biohazard Battle takes us, and then we'll probably spend the rest of the evening cursing Pugsy and not getting very far in it. So alright, I'll be back in just a moment.